Okay, the next test that we did was called, aptly named the Gold Car test, and that Gold Car was the second car that we bought, the 2011 Sportabout TDI VW. In this test, we take the car out together, Rich and I. He called me up and one night and explained how the car was doing quite well and that he wanted to have me see it. So he brought it over, and I took my little scan gauge 2 and hooked it up to his OBD2 outlet on his car to so we could have duplicate gauges to see what was going on, because it explained what was happening and it sounded real good, and I wanted to just see, make sure that we did all we could do to cover all our bases. So anyway, we took the car out and we did our 2-mile run. That was the first thing we did, and I explained to him how to do the 2-mile run, and he'd never done it. We went through the 2-mile initial marker at 50 miles an hour. I read the gauge, as you hear on the video, at 110, I believe it was, and then we quickly determined that my scan gauge was way out of calibration, but I say way out, maybe 15%. But it was out, and I realized that, and he started explaining what his mileage indication was and what I would explain mine. And if you watch the video, you can hear that talk. But we achieved at the end of that run about 140 miles to a gallon under cruise control. He kicked it out. My gauge, I think, indicated 124. So then after that, we took that same car out. I have to tell you, the car was not running very well. The computer was messing up on it because we had cut the fuel back so much that the computer couldn't handle it. And that's the only problem we ever had with this device. Sometimes you can do that, and so you have to be a little careful about how far you cut the fuel back if you're using a unit chip. But the results were stunning. The transmission never went bad, obviously. It didn't really hurt it, but I'm sure. But it was definitely shifting abruptly, something that car wouldn't do normally. And the car was doing so well on the mileage indicator that we were just, both of us, beyond ourselves. Okay, it's the 4th of April, and Rich's car, the Gold Car, we're doing a test on the 2-mile 50 mile an hour course, and it's looking fantastic. We got 108 miles to a gallon already, and it's hanging around 104, 109. So this is going to be good. I mean, one thing is your horsepower is real low. That's obviously great.
This says 149 consumption instantaneous.
Yeah, this is 128. It's a little lower than yours, but
it is lower, yeah.
But it's fantastic. So he's saying 149 on the car gauge, and this is saying 109, so it's off about 25% or something like that. Still great. Okay, now we're coming up on the end of this. We got 135 miles per gallon. This is better than any car's ever gotten, I think. We'll have to see here in a second. Now, when I tell you to hit the brake, hit the brake. All right, just knock it out of cruise.
Okay.
When I say so. Okay, now knock it out of cruise. Okay, come into a stop, slow. Just roll in. 125. That's great. It's better than the car ever got. Yep, that's excellent.
Yeah, this is
We just got 99 horsepower out of this thing on acceleration. That's another record.
back up. Why not? Go for broke here. Alright, now it's in 5.
So we're running the... What's your map 5 mean?
Map 5 is minus 33.
Minus 33, all right.
That's 100 miles a gallon right there.
Yeah.
That's 63. grade.
Yeah, this always draws it down a little bit, and then it speeds right back up once it gets down the hill.
Yeah.
So what are you getting now for mileage?
You're what? Look,
Well, this thing is not close to yours. Not
no, I
even
know
close.
it's not. Right now, it
No, you're getting what, 70?
88, 93.
Yeah. Now mine's not even close to that. 37. It needs to be recalibrated.
Yeah.
All right, I just showed you probably the most incredible video recording that we did. Obviously, it's not. The mileage was not maybe up to what the blue car did, but the test was totally together, so it holds up. And I went back and dubbed in the various figures on the tape for you so that you can see what the actual numbers were as far as we could tell. I mean, you can't get it totally right given that the gauge was not calibrated, and the two gauges move at very different rates. The car gauge that's furnished with the Volkswagen Jetta is much slower than the other gauge, and therefore the response time is slower. So to try to calibrate them against each other is almost a futile effort. But we did have two numbers at the same time that seemed to correlate, so I did give you a figure for that, which is 16%, a little bit more. All right, moving from that incredible video, I'm going into the next, the most probably objective thing that we did, considering that mileage is always going to be controversial. We did a dyno test, Mustang dyno test. These Mustangs are up in the air 5 feet when you test them. I don't know if you've ever seen a Mustang dyno. So it's a fairly interesting experience being up there driving a car with the front wheels spinning at 5,000 RPMs. But it came out at a doubling of horsepower, and I'm going to show you that on how the graph reads that, and then we're going to visit John Betty at his shop. John is the guy that did the test, as I say many times here. John was he was a race car mechanic solely at the time. Now he does general mechanic work, and he's one of the best I know. So anyway, here we go. This is the Mustang dyno test that I talked about in John's shop, the VS Service Center where he works. This is John Betty's card. John Betty did the test down in Dagsboro, Delaware, on a Mustang dyno. The car was a 2002 Volkswagen Jetta TDI diesel, and the initial run was 51 horsepower stock. That's the bottom line here, and 125 foot-pounds of torque. That's the second line. This line here, this bottom line on this part of the graph. We came back 3 months later on 11/13/2010 after we put our device on it and had run it for a while, and we got 80 horsepower and 155 foot-pounds of torque. This area in the orange was the improvement. Then we retested the car, and then we got 101 horsepower and 198 foot-pounds of torque between 1,500 and 2,000 RPMs.
What's happening?
Video camera out.
So what are you doing on this?
Rebuilding the whole thing, front end.
Front end? Yeah.
Ball joint.
Ball joint.
Yeah. Upper lower control arm. Exhaust manifold. Everything's all rusted out.
Yeah. This is what's this car do? What's the quarter mile run?
Oh, 860 to 162.
162. That's his best time, or is that what he usually gets? Yeah. He's got, how many pistons he got blown out on it?
A lot of them. A lot of them.
More than one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm about out of juice on this thing, so I can't do very long. But I didn't want to do very long anyway.
Okay.
What I wanted to do is that's the dyno test we did,
Right.
and I just wanted you to verify it.
Okay.
And what I did was I put these colors in there so you can read it on the web.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that, what, 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was with the Hall effect. Now, I don't know, I never explained to you what the hell that was, right? Well, the reason I didn't was because we weren't allowed to.
Right.
But now, it's under patent, or not, it's patent pending.
Right.
So all we did on that car was we put a unit chip on it, and that was a DOS-driven unit chip.
Right.
And we ran a wire from the hot lead on the battery, and on that battery it has a set of terminals, you know. We ran that to the oil.
Right.
That was it. We put a probe on the oil. That's all we did. So we doubled the horsepower.
Right.
But anyway, I just wanted you to verify that, so I can, and I'll put that, you know, I'll put that on the web. I want to take a picture of your engine.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the first time you ever heard what it was. Oh, this is it, right?
Oh, that's one of them, yeah. Let's take the...
It's a Chevy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty, man. You about got it built, don't you?
Yeah, I'm about got to take the port.
About to take it. Oh, I see. that's the pistons. Yeah.
That's the hole there.
Yeah. What's it, roller rocker arms? Got everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Does it run a blower?
No, nitrous.
Nitrous. So what do you do? Put too much nitrous in it, or what? All right. Well, I just want to come over and get this.